after it was declared as common supplies, Mr. Chair, then that's the time that they requested PS-DBM to procure. Because if there is no declaration that these items are common supplies, then you cannot buy it directly from us until there is a memorandum of agreement. So if such items would have not been declared by GPPB as common supplies, then there should be a memorandum of agreement when they procured. However, I think when they transferred the funds, it was already declared as common supplies, Mr. Chair.
The fact is, since you did not have these medical items in your inventory, there was a request from DOH to procure it.
Yes,
Is that
Mr.
correct?
Chair.
All right.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Having said that, so now, are you aware that under the implementing rules and regulations of the Procurement Act, specifically paragraph 7.3.3, this is the implementing rules and regulations. And let me read it for the record. In order to hasten project implementation, procuring entities which may not have the proficiency or capability to undertake a particular procurement as determined by the head of the procuring aid concerned may outsource the procurement task by letter A, requesting other GOP agencies to undertake such procurement for them through the execution of a memorandum of agreement containing the specific arrangement, stipulations, and covenants in accordance with government budgeting, accounting, and auditing rules. In this particular case, you are a procuring procuring these items, 42 billion at that, for the DOH. Why was a memorandum of agreement not signed in violation of the implementing rules?
During that time, Mr. Chair, when they were discussing with us, PS-DBM has already been authorized by GPPB to procure these items because these items were already considered as common supplies.
Procuring the item is different from requiring an MOA. I am asking you specifically, why was there no memorandum of agreement signed?
Yes, there is no need for a memorandum of agreement if the items that are being procured to PS-DBM are considered common supplies. These items, during the time, were already declared as common supplies, Mr. Chair.
I am sorry, but what you're saying is contrary to the implementing rules and regulations of the Procurement Act. There is nothing there which dispenses with the execution of a memorandum of agreement, which is necessary so that there can be a documentary tracing of this disbursement. 42 billion. By the way, according to the former Secretary of Health, kayang-kaya po yung 42 billion procurement. Hindi po tama ang sasabihin nyo, Secretary Duque, na walang kakayahan ang Department of Health. According to your predecessor, I won't mention who, but kayang-kaya ng Bids and Awards Committee ng DOH. Can you
Mr. Chairman, yung PS-DBM kasi, meron po silang kakayahan na mag-angkat ng mga supplies from international suppliers. Pangalawa po, ang DOH talagang very limited ang kanila pong Bids and Awards Committee to process all the procurement requirement of the DOH. Kanya, ang approach po namin is whole of government. Kanya naman po minabuti namin na humingi ng tulong sa PS-DBM dahil unang-una kulang na kulang din ang mga supplies. Ano po? Talagang
Secretary Duque, Prudence would have dictated that when you transfer 42 billion to another agency out of the budget of DOH, you should have signed a memorandum of agreement. Is that a prudent thing to do for a secretary? 42 billion is no small money.
Uh,
Wouldn't you sign something with or the memorandum of agreement with the PS-DBM?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, if I may just respectfully request USEC Roger Tong-An to please give his rejoinder to your question. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I'm asking the Secretary, Mr. Chairman. Prudence would require that when you move 42 billion of your budget to another agency, a memorandum or some document should be signed to cover that transfer. Is that not correct?
We have a document to cover the transfer, which is known as the agency procurement request. And also, I would like to state for the record that the execution of the MOA was not required to the fund transfer transactions with the PS-DBM, since it covers, as was underscored, already considered as common use supplies in the aforesaid GPPB resolution and banking on the provisions of other relevant legal basis. I will submit to you, Your Honor, the section the section 53.5, 2016 IRR of RA 9184, agency to agency procurement of goods, infrastructure projects, and consulting services from another agency of the government of the Philippines, such as PS-DBM, which is tasked with the centralized procurement of common use supplies for the GOP in accordance with the letters of instruction number 755 and EO 359 series of 1989. So, yung Section 20 of the 2020 General Appropriations Act, nakalagay naman po, procurement of common use supplies, all agencies of the government shall purchase its common use supplies requirements from procurement service as mandated under LOI number 755 dated October 18, 1978, EO number 359 series of 1989, and AO...
Secretary Duque,
Yes,
you're
sir.
fond of reading kilometric statements. I just ask you a simple question. In your judgment, there was it was not necessary. The prudence does not necessarily dictate that you sign a document when you move 42 billion from your department to the DBM. There is nothing wrong with that in your view.
Yes, Your Honor, you are right, Your Honor. But however, with the findings of the COA, we have agreed that with their guidance, we can still actually come up with the memorandum of agreement.
I have here a list of the items included in the GPPB resolution dated March 2020, no? And this does not include face shields. So I wonder where PS-DBM got their authorization to bid out the procurement of face shields, because it is not included in the list of the items. As you can see, this is a complete list. Now there's a subsequent resolution or an IRR dated March 31, 2021. I think it is a generalization of items to be procured by as common use supplies and equipment as categorized. So I wonder what authority did PS-DBM have in bidding out or procuring face shields, because face shields, as you can see on the screen, hindi po kasama doon sa listahan. So with or without MOA or with or without GPPB resolution to that effect, PS-DBM is not authorized or was not authorized at the time to procure face shields because wala po sa listahan. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.